Hey, we got the Corolla running. Oh my gosh, what a big moment that this is for us. When we were cranking the engine, it's gonna be hard to see, so hopefully the GoPro will fit all the way in. We were cranking the engine, the TDC mark on the crank pulley kept firing right up here, vertical up and down, which it matched up with the TDC mark on the crank pulley trigger wheel. We kept seeing it was firing here, but the true engine TDC is where this silver mark is. So all it took was for us to rotate the wheel 40 degrees to match with the TDC mark on the wheel, with the crank pulley dead center to match with the TDC mark on the plastics, and the engine fired right up. Technically, we were like the first part of TDC. Anyway, it's a long story short. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm no car mechanic. We got it running and it runs phenomenal. There are some little odds and ends today, and what do they say? The last 10% of any build takes the 90% of the time. First and foremost, you can see my coil packs here are unplugged and they look a little different. These are original Toyota coil packs. They have this red stripe on the top. This is the Amazon version of the same coil pack. And then this is a Hyundai Veloster coil pack. I want to switch all this out to this. Now, I know some coil pack nerds in the comments are going to be like, you can't do that because if you use an oscilloscope, it's the wrong resistance and yada yada. I don't know this yet. I don't know if you can do this. The only reason why I'm switching out the coil packs is because I really don't like the way this looks on the engine. This looks old and dated. Sure, you can bolt it down with the bolt here and keep it in, but just doesn't look right, like so high off the engine. This looks a lot more tidy and it stays more stable, especially with that bolt in there. So what we're gonna try and do is we're gonna try and create a little mini harness here. I'm just like playing around. Take these pins, put them in the new pin sockets, and go from there. Step 2 is AE86 starters are notoriously bad. They overheat, they click a lot when you turn them on. Like you go to turn on the car and it just goes click, click, click. It doesn't actually crank over. And that's for 2 reasons. One, the starter could be going bad, that's fine. But another thing is, the way a Toyota starts is it gets a signal from the key, comes to the battery then opens a relay. The relay goes down to the starter opens a relay, gets power from the key down the cord into the starter and cranks the starter. It's crazy. I mean, there's also a 12 volt hot lead on the starter. The way you can go around that is if you put a relay next to the starter, you're bridging the key power of this that goes to the key unit of the starter to a relay, and then there's another power unit that goes to the relay, and that relay is then sending combined power to the starter, so it's getting the right amount of juice to crank. What happens is some of these contacts get old, so the connections and the cables get old, especially if you've taken out starters all the time, especially if this car has been around for a long time. And so on SQ Engineering's website, they give you a little hack for a starter with a $20 horn relay. We're gonna build that today, and that way when we crank the car, it cranks. It doesn't just go click, click, click. It's gonna be a big day. We're gonna do a lot of things. Hopefully I can get it done while the sun is up so I can pull this car in front of the house and take it for a rip. But if not, we'll do it another day. All right, that's enough talking. It's like 10 minutes of talking. Let's just get to it. We didn't go ahead and go forward with those Hyundai Tiburon coil packs. I didn't know impedance or resistance or any of that stuff, and I really just didn't want to deal with it. So we got ES300 coil packs, popped them in, and they fit perfectly. And look, they don't rattle. They're perfectly tight in there. They work with the SQ Engineering 1NZ coil pack cover. They work. They're not perfect because there's a little bit of a gap right in here, but they work and they look great. Here's how you take care of the starter issue on AE86 Corollas once and for all. I'm going to show you inside my engine bay. It's still work in progress, but there's a relay here that normally most AE86s don't have. All right, on the bench, we have an old AE86 starter, and we have one of these horn relays. Cool thing about these horn relays is they can handle up to 40 amps, which is a lot, so it's fine, but it can handle how much the starter needs, and it's a 4-switch relay, and you can see the relays are labeled 87, 88, 30, and 85. And then over here, there's a little bit of a diagram on what to do with the relay. So what a relay does is it intercepts the signal from the battery and the key, goes to the relay, then it takes the hot line from the car battery into the relay as well. And then when it's time to open up the relay, it sends all the power to the starter in one pulse, and it gets it to crank over. And I can honestly say, us doing this solved all of our cranking issues just immediately. There is no king, 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 like you heard in the previous part of the video. It goes perfectly. Now, I didn't come up with this idea. My friend John Ho dropped this in the chat and said, hey Mike, you should really do this upgrade for your starter. I didn't even know it was a thing. There's a write-up here on SQ Engineering on how to do this. Now, I'm gonna give you just really the quick and dirty, but you can totally look up SQ Engineering relay upgrade for a starter and it'll show you what to do. But basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna take pin 30 on your 4-way connector, boom. You're gonna wire that directly to the main power cable. Then you're gonna take pin 85, which comes from the firewall, which is basically the switch, and you're gonna do a spade connector and connect that to the relay and go from pin 85 into this point here. Pin 30 is gonna go from the relay into the main power cable. Pin 86 will go to a ground, and then you'll take the ground and put it on, I use the motor mount ground, because obviously it's a very strong ground, it's gonna be perfect. And then pin 87 is the back of the solenoid switch. It goes to here. So basically the solenoid switch goes into here, then 2 leads go into here, and then this gets grounded. That's really it. But then when you crank your key, it takes all the power and cranks the starter over. But let me show you what it looks like inside the car. Again, SQ Engineering write-up will really be your best bet here. And I left the relay exposed so y'all can see basically how it's hooked up. I did insulated wire. I did 10 gauge with spade connections, and I insulated the connections, went straight to the starter. And then when I'm done with this, basically I'm just gonna zip tie it in place right here. So it's on the cable, it won't move around, it's totally safe. And it's a nice little pocket inside this engine mount, so it's perfect. If you had a lot of cranking issues with your AE86, like king, 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 just do that and it's gonna solve your problem. We got the starter situation figured out and the car cranks over every time. Now it's time to move on to something pretty important now that the car runs and starts, and that's the door handles. AE86s are notorious for doors sagging and door handles breaking. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna open up this door. Obviously this doesn't work. Open up the panel here, replace the door handle, and while we're at it, we might even replace the other side depending on how much the new door handle doesn't match the other side. So let's just get into it. The window's down for a reason. I have to reach in the car, pop her open, and let's get to work on that door card and access the door panel. Since the door is going to be open the whole time, I'm going to roll up the window now. There we go. Because we need it up to access where the door handle is in there. And then it looks like, now I've never pulled an AE86 door before, but it looks like we got 2 clips, or 2 screws here, a screw there, and I guarantee you this is those horseshoe clips that love to shotgun to the moon when you pull them off. Oh, that's gonna be a fun guy. Basically, you get a flathead in here and you pop open the little round clip on here, and it allows the door handle to come off. But I promise you this, as soon as I get a flathead in there and I pop it up, that clip is gonna jet us into Mars. And hopefully I can find it. Pro tip, to get this little clip off right here, which you can barely see, I literally just used a old Dremel tightener tool and it just slid in perfectly around here. It hit the clip and there it goes. It just shotgunned itself into the atmosphere. I don't know where it is. So now I gotta find that stupid thing. But hey, that's great. Door handle comes right off. Look at that. We got the door panel off with no broken pop rivets or whatever you want to call these. Maybe this one's broken, but really, this is like phenomenal. I can't believe this. This is the best thing in the world. Makes up for losing the window handle clip. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna move this little 10 mil door lock bracket out of the way, and then we're gonna remove the 10 mil there, and there's a 10 mil behind there. Door handle should fall out, and we can continue on with replacing it out. I am never gonna find that clip. Anyway, now you got that off, we're gonna remove this with a 10 mil. And that bracket kind of just moved out of the way. The little plastic clip that holds in the door handle. Now I'm gonna do this while the door handle's in place so I'm not dealing with two axes. And just pop that out and pull the arm out of the door handle and we should be able to replace it. All right, we popped it out and she should come right out. Here she is. When this is in like this, there's a metal arm that goes in here. What you're supposed to do is open this up, which is pretty easy. But then the arm doesn't want to come out of this clip because obviously its job is to stay in the clip. So what you do is you get a flathead in there, like this. You get in between the arm and the bracket, and it's like an L here. And all you gotta do is go and rotate your flathead, and it should pop the arm out. Instead of jamming your finger in there and like trying to get it out and all that, cut up your hand. Just take a flathead, put it inside the door, put it in between the arm and the thing, and twist, and it'll pop the arm right out. All right, we put the door handle back on, and I put this back in place. Lines feel tight, actually. So there we go. Lines feel tighter now. And let's close the door and see if she opens, because that's the ultimate test. Ready? Unlock the door in. Perfect. That's a solid pop. The door doesn't sag. Closes perfectly. That's what I like to see. Look at that. Boom. Let's put the door card back on and hope to God, by some miracle, we find that little horseshoe clip for the window handle. And if we don't find it, then Amazon it is. All right, door card is back on. Door works. And because I'm an idiot and I yeeted the window handle clip into the fucking stratosphere, I am not gonna put the handle on the other side. We're just gonna let this rock and roll for now like that until I go and I get a new window clip. Oh. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Kodak, thank you. We got door clips! Ah! The clip actually locks right here. Do you see this little groove? The teeth of the arms of the clip hit the grooves on both sides and prevent it from pulling out. Enter the new Seibon hood. With Seibon hoods, you can either run hood pins or don't run hood pins. Now I know what you're gonna say, you should always run hood pins with a carbon hood. And you're right, you should run hood pins with a carbon hood. In fact, the carbon hood that we had before flew up because I didn't latch the hood pins. However, I do know some people who don't run hood pins with their Seibon carbon hood. I'm looking at you, Colin Frost, don't know why, but hey, it looks cleaner, it's up to you. You wanna run the risk, run the risk. But I'm gonna run hood pins, and so I already drilled pilot holes of where I think the hood pins should go, going off the hood pins that were already, hood pin holes that were already in the car here. Kind of masked off the engine bay. It looks like poop because I'm gonna be shredding a lot of fiberglass. Now brings the question of which hood pins should we run here on the AE86. All right, we got three options. Arrow catch, small little button, big little button. Drop in the comments what you guys think I should run on this hood. I know a lot of you have experience with these and I don't. I don't know which one is actually the safest. I don't know if these fail. So if I choose these and everyone in the comments like, dude, do arrow catch, those are dangerous, you're gonna kill yourself. Then to put on arrow catch, it's not a big deal. I'll just continue to make the hole bigger. If we're gonna run these one step up from these, the hole is already just a little bit bigger, just need to be machined out a little bit more and we should be good to go. But let me know in the comments below which ones you guys would choose on the AE86. Of course, the arrow catch is bigger, it's biggest. This one's slightly bigger, and that one's just tiny. And I'm leaning towards the tiny one, but of course, I don't want to destroy this hood and this car. All right, we went with the little guys because I didn't want a big footprint on the hood, and it looks great, actually. Now, I have no idea how strong these are. I have no idea if they're gonna hold. I don't know if I'm gonna kill myself, but it took a lot of adjusting and like 2 or 3 hours worth of work, and the hood is sitting flush. Check it. The hood latch on this car, I realize, is garbage. It's broken. And that's why it had hood pins in the first place, because no matter what I do, I adjusted the latch up and down. I played with the mechanism, I reset it. It doesn't actually lock in place. So these are the only two things actually holding the hood in, and we're gonna rock these little Johnnies because it makes the hood look so much better than having some big, huge holes in it. And that's gonna be it for this episode. We fixed the starter. We fixed the door handle. We put the hood on. We put hood pins in. The next episode, we really got to dial in the fueling. I got to install a fuel pump, fuel pressure regulator, and then tune the car on the Mega Squirt. And fingers crossed, maybe raise up the front just a little bit too. And fingers crossed, we could take it to a car meet on Sunday. That's 2 days away. It's Friday at basically 4:30 right now. So I do have a full day's worth of work. I still got other stuff to take care of, but hopefully we can get this done. Other than that, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.